Hello, everybody, and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Vancouver. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler and Brian David Marshall, and we are underway. Matt Sperling kicks things off with the Turn 1 Thoughtseize, and we get to see the whole hand of Thoughtseize Mutavault, a couple of Swamps and Underworld Connections, a Gray Merchant, and a Desecration Demon. Randy, what do you like here?
It depends on Matt's hand, either Thoughtseize or Underworld Connections.
Okay. Underworld Connections, you know, one of the most important cards in the mirror. They said earlier it's a Pack Rat game early and it's an Underworld Connections game late.
Right. I mean, if Matt has a second Thoughtseize, he would take Thoughtseize. If he has a Pack Rat, he would take Thoughtseize. But without that going on, I think Underworld Connections is the best card in John's hand.
Okay.
And that's what he does take.
Yeah. I would be surprised, when that will Thoughtseize, we'll get the other info.
And we see
Only
that
one choice, and it was Hero's Downfall.
And we see that Matt has mulliganed
to
Indeed.
6, yeah.
We're starting on 6 cards.
Plus
so,
the Thoughtseize mulligan.
Yeah.
So Hero's Downfall hits the bin and leaves Sperling with just 3
4
swamps left. Yeah.
Wow.
He's got one unknown card in hand. He drew
It
another
was a spell.
Hero's Downfall. Passes a turn back. And we're going to see a Scry land here from John Stern. He's going to put that back on top.
No, I like that one.
Pass turn back. No,
That's not what Matt wanted to see.
No, there's a Scry land for Matt, and he's going to instantly play that. Take a look at the card. We can't get a look at it, but he is going to keep it.
We're pretty sure it's not a land.
Yes, non-land card for sure. Draw step here for John Stern. He surveys the scene. Nobody's been able to make an aggressive action yet. He has a Mutavault, and is this a Pack Rat? It is. Pack Rat for John Stern.
And he thinks the coast is clear on that because he knows he had cleared the Hero's Downfall.
That's right.
He does know there's been a couple draw phases. He's not going to be shocked by this Hero's Downfall, but he'll be disappointed by it.
No
sure.
flipping the table here?
No.
It's disappointment, but
Yeah. Like, we
These
might
things
need to
happen.
get him a Kleenex, but he's not going to flip the table. So Matt Sperling had left Underworld Connections on top, and it kind of feels like he just needs to take care of the rat and then go to work with the connections later.
Well, he
right?
doesn't really have a good way to catch up on that rat if it gets started.
no, you kill the rat here. I'm surprised he's thinking as long as he is.
I'm a little surprised, too.
No.
Wow.
Wow, Underworld
He elects
Connections.
for Underworld Connections.
Interesting. Hey, he's played this mirror.
Yeah, no, I was
going
gonna
to
say,
I mean, the guy, the guy does not lose in this format.
God, this is where I wish we could just take a timeout, bring him in, and go, okay, what's the plan here, and then send him back over there, you know? Because I'm just morbidly curious about how this works.
What does he know of the? He knows some of the cards from John's hand.
He does.
That doesn't seem super relevant.
Deck has a hard time getting rid of Pack Rat.
Yeah.
And Sperling doesn't really have any action in his hand.
Make a rat, pump a rat.
I mean,
get
he's
him
down.
for 3.
Yeah, he was down a card and behind. Maybe he's playing, desperation catch up because he felt like he was. He starts his third turn or second turn. All he's got are swamps.
Mm-hmm. It just seems like such a reasonable.
But he wasn't behind on board.
Right. You won for
Underworld
one
Connections
with a
is
rat.
awesome.
And then you connections, right. All right, so he draws a card with connections and
Got
he
a
finds
Desecration Demon.
a Desecration Demon. He's also got a second connections in hand. And of course that Hero's Downfall is still there. Demon seems to be a pretty reasonable draw here, though we've seen it before, with Mutavaults and Pack Rats, you can just maneuver around a demon and just get in there for huge chunks of damage. Remember, Sperling's down to 14 already, too.
He may be just positioning himself to set up and play a Gray Merchant game, like hoping that he's going to draw.
God, if he had one in his hand.
Yeah.
Got to respect the rat. All right, a 5th land here for John Stern.
John's trying to figure out when to sack for Demon. Does he want to attack this turn? Does he want to just say go? And then I like this play.
Just say go for this turn.
You say go. He probably taps Demon on Matt's attack phase.
Mm-hmm.
With a Mutavault?
With a Mutavault. Maybe he takes a hit too. If Sperling wants to attack him, he can take 6. Of course, then it'll be available for defense. I mean, Sperling probably doesn't attack with it, and then he's got to get through it. It's one of those where, like, sometimes you'll give them one attack phase to decide whether they want to attack you, to find out how they want to play it.
Yeah. It does give you a lot of hints about what the game plan is. All right, Underworld Connections activation first main phase here. Matt's going to get as many cards and information in his hand as possible. All right, so he's going to attacks. Triggers up. Going to make a rat token. Make a pack rat. And Matt Sperling does not attack, and John
Stern
does
did not tap
lock
it. Sperling chose to leave it on defense.
Yeah. I mean,
both of which seem like correct decisions.
yeah.
Now John's staring over at 5 untapped lands, wondering whether it's time to
make a rat.
He can actually make his rats into 6/6s
yes,
here.
that's what.
Like if he attacks with all 3 rats, he's got enough mana to make one activate, but have both Mutavaults activate themselves.
Yeah.
And trade with the demon. That seems like the. But then he gets blown out by a removal spell,
which is
like the hero's
in hand.
the Sperling slow roll.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Canadian hero's downfall.
Also, John can just wait a turn.
Right, which I think is what happened.
Yeah.
I think he said go.
Okay.
And Matt's doing this end step, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like there's going to be a rat made in response here potentially. Getting rid of a gray merchant, and he just replaces the rat.
Yeah, replaces it.
All right, Sperling draws a
And it just doesn't
Spectre.
really. I guess it does matter if you had some bounce, whether you killed the token or not the token. But without bounce, it just doesn't
I
matter.
don't think it matters with these lists.
Yeah, they're functionally the same card. They're all 2-drops. They all have black mana symbols.
Some of them look
It's
like
really fascinating
snowmen,
to
though.
watch Matt play this, right? Like, so that Underworld Connections just put him up a card, up a card, up a card.
Right.
While Stern has gone down a card, has just been able to make rats.
Sure.
All right, and Sperling has found his own pack rat. He's got enough mana to
I still feel like he could have just
activate it.
waited. Like if he takes 1 turn to downfall the first rat, then he can still go on the Underworld Connections plan. I mean,
Right.
he's essentially leaving it in his hand for 1 turn, risks Thoughtseize. I
Yeah.
guess that's the opportunity cost, is that if your opponent top decks a Thoughtseize, you'll lose the connections.
Sure.
Is that opportunity cost really so high that you're willing to let your opponent get on the pack rat plan?
That's
though?
a third Mutavault.
Wow. So now he can make his rats into 7/7s. Trade with the demon, even.
I mean, he can make a
Even
rat,
through a
have
removal
4
spell.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah, no, then all those rats are 7s.
they're all 7/7s.
Or they can be if each Mutavault activates itself.
He can also just tap the demon with one of those Mutavaults and get in with.
He can also say go and make 2
3/6.
rats.
Yeah.
Oh, how many cards does he have left?
I mean,
Maybe out of cards.
I mean, yeah. So Sperling's going to make a rat here, ditching the connections.
I think 2 cards left in John's hand, so
Yeah.
he can make 2 rats this turn, and then attack next turn.
And then make a rat next turn and attack. All right, so Matt Sperling activates his connections. He knows this next turn is going to be it.
It sure seems like it's lining up to be crucial.
Yeah.
Attack phase. You ready to tap my demon yet?
And John says, nope.
He's like, I am perfectly ready to take 6 anytime you want to
Yeah.
swing.
All right.
Matt can make 2 rats,
He can make 2 rats, and he just ships a turn back here.
and he's got how many Mutavaults? Just
he,
1?
He has 1.
So his rats top out at 5/5s.
Freaka's Cure
Yeah. 2
and
rats.
whatever. 2 cards become
Discarding
2
Grey
rats.
Merchant. Seems right.
Yeah. Discarding Gray Merchant is interesting there, too. Gray
Just bring
Merchant.
the team here, right?
Yeah.
None of the Mutavaults. All of the rats.
So Matt has 1
I mean, do you just
Mutavault.
are you saying to activate all the Mutavaults and attack with everything,
No,
or
I would
make
not
a rat
attack with
and
the
just
Mutavaults.
activate the
I
Mutavaults?
think. I mean, I guess he could activate 3
yeah,
Mutavaults.
I mean
and
they
attack with
still
them.
have that same effect, and they also
I mean, they're
hit
only
for
2/2s though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but adding 6 power is nice. All right, he's not
Right.
going to do it though. He's going to attack with all of his rats.
Right. Well,
here.
this gives him the ability to make a rat, which adds. Like he can give all of his rat tokens +4/+4
right
during the combat step.
Over rat.
Yeah, over rat. Boo. Matt Sperling did find a hero's downfall here. That's his third one of the game.
But he's at 10.
But he's at 10.
Right. The rats hit for 1, 2, 3, 4. They're currently 5s. They can get to 9, so he can only let 1 rat hit him.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability to make 2 rats, or make 1 rat and block with Mutavault.
But we're talking about chump rats here.
Yeah, they're chump rats,
Yeah.
absolutely. He can make 1 rat and block with Mutavault and cast Hero's Downfall. So he can sort of deal with 3. So he doesn't have to let a rat hit him, but like I don't know what his long game is. I don't understand how these rats are doing anything but chump blocking and setting him up to lose next turn.
Right. All right, Mutavault's active. Man has 2 cards he can ditch and still, if he wants, or he can play a Hero's Downfall, and he's really thinking it through here.
Oh, right, he can still make 2 rats, but he can't block with both of them.
Right.
Well, he can't block with both and the Mutavault.
Right, he can block with 1 of the rats. I mean, his board here does keep him alive for the turn, but
yeah,
not much longer.
For what? To what effect?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Underworld Connections doesn't raise Pack Rat. That seems to be the lesson of this game.
This game gets so much more complicated in 2 weeks when you have Bile Blight.
Yes.
Oh, man, no kidding.
Yeah, the good news for those of you who are tired of watching Pack Rats battle in Standard is they won't be as good next month.
That's right.
But even just killing 3 Mutavaults.
I mean, I didn't say the deck was worse.
Yeah.
The Pack Rats were worse. I don't know about the deck yet. Jury's still out. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But the Pack
All right.
Rats themselves are worse.
Here comes a rat. Have we blocked? We haven't blocked yet.
Not blocked.
No, this is before blockers. Yeah, so he's got 5 blockers. There's 6 attacking rats. I mean, by my
Well,
plus 4 plus
there's
4
5
math,
rats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 5.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
5. Yes.
So,
can
so he
make
doesn't
it
have
6.
to.
but like you said before, Randy, I mean, him surviving this turn, like, is there a sequence of blocks that he can set up?
Yeah, what's the line to win the game?
You know, kill a bunch of the rats. You know, where you put like 2, 3, 4, 5, like that kind of thing. I mean, the problem, of course, is Mutavaults down there are going to outclass any
He's
multiple
going to let
blocks
2
that he
rats
has.
through? I mean, this block would let 2 rats through, which...
Well, he does have Hero's Downfall he can use still. He has
Okay.
black Mutavault post blocks. So should keep him alive. He's trying to figure out a way that he can stack enough rats up so that
He can
if
catch
he
up.
kills one of them,
Right, the cascade
he'll
effect.
do the
Cascade.
domino effect on the rats.
He
And
needs
maybe he
swift
has it.
justice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
He might have it.
Does he?
I don't know.
So Matt's rats are,
They're currently
4/4s.
4/4s.
and he looks like he wants to cast Hero's Downfall. They're probably going to stay 4/4s.
Right. The Mutavault's a 2/2.
I mean, John's rats can be 9/9s.
Right.
You're right. You're clearly right. His plan is to set up a cascade where, oh, I kill one, and then the others get shrunk, so now this one dies. So the rest get shrunk, so now this one dies.
Right.
It's not there. There's no way. Like, he has to get to 9 power. Just based
Well,
on the
he'll have
face-up
to get to
cards.
8, right?
He
Because
has to
one
get to
rat will
8.
be gone.
Fair.
Uh-huh.
Right. So then Mutavault plus Demon would do it.
Would kill one.
But then how are you going to get
But he's also dead if he
7
does
power
that.
in front of the other one?
Yeah, he's also not dead. Yeah, you can go to
it's not
1.
there, so
All right, he's
he lines
blocking
up
like
jumps.
that.
John is like, okay, take 10. I'm fine
Yeah.
with this. Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
this is lethal.
Yeah, it's lethal. There's
Just
no,
make
just
Sperling
wait.
do something.
Yeah, wait for Sperling. That's 10.
Yeah, he said
All
I
right,
passed
fine, here's
priority.
downfall.
All right, there's a downfall. Rat down.
Now John can decide how much he wants to pump. John's rats are 4/4s, so he's got to pump them a couple times.
So he's going to make a pack
Now
rat.
They're 5/5s.
Now activate
8s.
3
It's like fine.
Mutavaults.
They're 8/8s.
Yeah.
Your guys die, he says. Sperling gets to keep a couple of rats, but unfortunately John Stern's sitting at 18.
Right. Yeah, there's no
And what did
great-
Sperling take that turn?
8.
He took 8, so he's at 2.
Yeah, I don't see any amount of gray
He
mark.
goes
goes
down
to
to
1.
1 here. And that looks like it's going to do
Yeah,
it.
scoop him up.
Wow.
All right, so a critical turn or early turn play.
Yeah, it was turn 3, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
John Stern plays Pack Rat, and Matt Sperling top decks and Underworld Connections, which he knows is amazing in the matchup.
But he also has Hero's Downfall.
But he has Hero's Downfall, and he decides that getting his Underworld Connections onto the table and up and running was just more important than killing the first Pack Rat. And it didn't work out.
No.
Like, the Underworld Connections was not able to keep up with the Pack Rat, and He declined that one window.
I guess maybe he figures if he draws a rat and the hero's downfall, he's able to. I mean, and the underworld connections, he's able to get out ahead of it.
Yeah. There you go.
Here's
Good look
John
at John Stern's career stats. Does not have a Pro Tour top 8, but 3 Grand Prix top 8s,
Including a
win.
first, yeah.
A first and a second.
Yeah, Louisville, not in the not too distant past.
That's right. He was playing that red-green beatdown deck. He lost to this deck.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And it looks like he jumped
Yeah.
ship. And it was like,
Yeah.
I think I'd rather do that.
That's what rats do.
He jumped ship.
Yeah.
Funny. Do you have any other matches in yet? Oh, Gillespie is up a game.
So one
that's,
for the
Blue
Blue
White
Devotion.
Control, and Sundholm's up a game with Blue Devotion.
Yeah. Found out that I guess Adam Rubrick went to school in New England.
Okay.
Found out from our mailing list. Went to school with Chris Manning.
Oh, funny. Small world.
He was like, I didn't know he played Magic.
Crazy.
Basically.
Oh, yeah, he plays all the local stuff down in Seattle.
Oh, Rubrick?
Ruprecht, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a legacy player. He's a limited guy. Yeah, he's a certified Magic junkie, no doubt about it. Really nice guy, too. He also inadvertently stole my dice box once.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a nice guy at all.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose, though, and he gave him back. So he retains nice guy status.
All right. Do these guys have any sideboard tech for this match?
You know, they have each other's sideboards in front of them.
Yeah, you can actually see they've got the deck list. They're just looking at to
Yeah.
make sure. Sperling has 4 Dark Betrayals. Those are obvious. He's got 3 Doomblade, or 3 Duress, 1 Doomblade, 1 Ultimate Price, 1 Freakus Cure, 3 Lifebane Zombie, 2 Erebos. So, I mean, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a plan that he always does, because I'm sure he's played this matchup many times at this point.
Yeah, many times this weekend.
Stern's sideboard is 2 Dark Betrayal, 2 Shrivel, 3 Lifebanes is the same, 1 Doomblade, 2 Duress, 2 Erebos, 2 Freakus Cure, and I think that's 1 Devour Flesh.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Okay. One of the questions I know that the mono black players have to face is, do they bring in their dresses for the mirror? And
Right.
KYT was saying that the prevailing wisdom was that you don't, but that he felt like you should. You know, it gives you a chance to hit connections and other removal spells.
Yeah, it seems to me that you would. I mean, it's a question of what are you taking out,
That's
too.
the question.
It's not like their main deck is bad for this matchup. They've obviously, over time, the main deck has morphed into saying this is one of the most important matchups.
It's true.
You know what we didn't see at this tournament? Was anybody doing well with Blood Baron?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Blood Baron all weekend.
No. I haven't either. Same thing with Obzadot. That has seemed a little bit of a spike on Magic Online. I had seen
Right,
Obzadot in some lists. Nothing here. Not even one. I mean, we saw a couple. I think there was one black-white mid-range deck when we did our metagame check-in yesterday,
Right.
and I don't even know if it had it. We did
one
have
in the
one.
feature match
Okay.
area once. Oscar Jones, okay. But yeah, I mean, I looked at the top 16 decks with 2 rounds to go, and there was none of that anywhere close.
Crazy.
Anyway, that makes the black deck has been so interested in, I mean, the way I look at one of the narratives in the standard is that the black deck is so interested in beating the other black decks, winning the mirror, that some of them are splashing white.
Yeah.
And it's so inexpensive for them to get that card into their deck.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they're already running a few Scrylands in most cases.
Right.
Wow, these guys' main decks are 1 card off.
Really?
Yeah, Stern has the 1 Miser's Whip of Erebos.
Oh, right.
Instead of the 4th Devour Flesh.
Just
And
to irk
Sperling,
you.
Sperling has the clean 10 4s and 18 and a 2.
I'm curious to see if they bring Erebos in here.
Yeah, I was too. It seems like depending on
That's
how
a
the game
little bit of
plays
a
out-
game.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they both have access to Erebos in the sideboard.
I would
Neither
assume
one of them
they
main
do.
decks it. I mean, turning off the life gain of Grey Merchant for your opponent's Grey Merchants only is good.
It's good.
Drawing extra cards is good. But I mean, what are you taking out?
Right, that's the question.
I mean, do you want to take out the removal, 4 Devour Flesh, 2 Freakus Cure, 4 Heroes Downfall? I mean, maybe that's a bit high on the removal for this matchup, but
Could
like
be.
all the creatures need to be answered.
Right.
I mean, you upgrade your removal by switching it to Dark Betrayal.
Does Freakus Cure hit? It hits Mutavaults and early Pack Rats.
Early Pack Rats. But
Yeah.
early Pack Rat is huge.
It is.
Like the early
We
Pack
saw
Rat is
that.
basically the only one you can kill.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, you have to have your Devour Flesh, and they have to have nothing. Yeah.
And it's not like any of your spells are bad. Like
Right.
maybe, I mean,
Are
demons.
there enough
can
creatures? I was just gonna say, are there just so many like ability to make creatures and max Mutavaults that the Desecration Demon is
Yeah.
kind of like a situational hitter? Like
Yes.
you know, he's just really hard to rely upon.
Right. I think the demons probably come out. But yeah, I don't know how much. I would want to bring the arrow, but I mean, we're saying, oh, you could bring the Ereboses in, you could bring the Duresses in, you definitely bring the Dark Betrayals in.
Yeah.
But what are you taking out?
Now we're up to like 7 cards.
Well, I think you might
Or
take out Devour Flesh to put in the Dark
Right,
Betrayals.
the Dark Betrayals can just be upgrades, and probably Devour Flesh is the worst removal spell.
Yeah, even against Pack Rat, they can wait 1 turn and have a Mutavault up,
right.
or wait till turn 5 and just do them both. So that is true. Well, there's Erebos right on
Erebos
top.
is in.
Yeah, so that's in there.
That's going to be a mulligan for Matt Sperling.
Yeah,
he mulliganed the first game, too.
Does John Stern have a keeper?
He's going to pick up loss number 4 with this deck across 2 GPs. He's only lost 3 times across 2
He's
Grand
definitely
Prix
had a
with
little
this
bit of
deck.
hard luck with, in terms of those closing rounds. If
Yes.
he loses here,
Yeah.
he had the.
He goes 2 GPs with 4 losses, but no Pro Tour invites.
Is this only a 4?
We did not hit 1,200, so this is a
Wow.
4-slot GP.
Yeah.
You need 1,200 players to get the 8 slots. Yeah, they're playing for an Atlanta invite. I mean, John Stern, I believe, already has one. I don't know if he's platinum, but
He was gold.
he was gold.
So that means he has invites
So
for
he's
for
invited
the
to
year.
everything.
Yeah.
But Sperling, I'm pretty sure, does not have an Atlanta invite at this point.
And that's true for all of our semifinal matches too, by the way. Anybody else out there? Alexander Hayne
Right, Hayne is
in
gold?
already. I think he's platinum.
It might be platinum.
yeah.
He's definitely qualified already.
Yeah.
But I don't believe the other 5 guys are probably playing qualifiers right now.
Right.
Right.
PTQ
I mean,
final.
this is the huge
And the
bump
and the
for them.
PTQs for. Oh, PTQs have started for this.
for
this
Atlanta,
part.
yeah. Pro Tour Journey into Knicks,
Oh,
right?
All right.
Sperling
Sperling
keeps
has
his
a
6,
keep.
yeah.
Yep. He's got to keep with a Skryland.
Keep and keep.
So good news coming for Matt Sperling. John Stern looks like he's going to kick things off. There's the duress, so that came in as well.
And
he's
it hits
got
Underworld
connections and land.
Wow.
So that's pretty
This
pretty
is the
ideal.
second game in a row where Stern has played a turn 1 discard spell and taken Sperling's only spell.
Yeah.
It's a hard hand to keep, but you're on 6 off
No,
the
you
play.
totally keep. It's not a
Yeah.
hard hand to keep. That's
Right.
absolutely what you keep.
Even knowing there's 7 discard spells.
You want a 5-card hand?
Yeah.
Like, this card has
Sure.
a straightforward route to victory as long as your opponent doesn't duress thought seize you.
And you're on the play.
You're on the play. I mean,
You
your
didn't-
5-card hand is going to have 2 threats and be resilient to duress. I don't buy it. Yeah, I think you keep that. You also
Speaking
have a
of
Skryland.
5-card hands.
Yeah,
or-
so
Wow.
the Dark Betrayal that he had drawn is going to hit the bin now from the
Wow.
Thoughtseize.
Do you Thoughtseize right there?
I usually wouldn't.
He's had one.
but,
well, he kept with the temple. That's,
that's
why you do
true.
it.
That's
Right,
why.
yeah.
He
That's
kept
why.
with the
You're
temple,
totally
so
right.
you know it's a spell.
That could have absolutely been another Underworld Connections very easily.
Yeah,
so.
no, he's right to Thoughtseize, only because
sure.
of the keep. Like, I wouldn't Thoughtseize blind on one
Agreed.
draw phase, but
Yep.
if you know he kept it with a Skryland,
This is going to be Nightmare.
All right, so things looking very good for John Stern in the early stages. There's a pack rat though for Matt Sperling. He's got a grip full of nothing, and he can turn those
Interesting.
into rats.
Yeah.
He's got
So all those cards
double
just suddenly
Mutavault,
got
too.
better.
Yeah. So if this pack rat survives, he did just run it out there this time. If it survives, he might have a plan on his hands here, though Nightveil Spectre plus whatever John Stern has in his hand can certainly
Nightveil Spectre into
equalize.
Dark Betrayal.
Yeah.
Or Devour
Devour
Flesh.
Flesh.
Well, he
that
does
isn't
have
a
double
gonna do it.
Mutavault.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
this
not
is what we
gonna-
were saying. The Devour Flesh just seemed like the weakest removal spell.
Yeah.
Sperling left him in.
I mean, you don't mind killing a
Some
Mutavault,
number.
but it's not doing what you need it to do.
Right.
Underworld Connections and a draw.
Oh,
Oh.
Dark Betrayal.
So dirty when he taps that one, too, and you're like,
Yes.
yeah, draw a card,
It's
sure.
the split second of hope.
So nasty.
And we talk about the bad luck Sperling has had in closing GP rounds. How about the good luck John Stern has had?
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be in this top 8.
That's right. And there's an Underworld Connections off the top for John Stern. So if he gets 2 connections going in a Nightveil Spectre, this is going to get out of control very quickly. Already he's in a dominating position.
One connections and a Nightveil Spectre.
You're
is
okay with
plenty.
that?
Plenty.
Is that another Devour
Yeah, it
Flesh?
is.
Yes.
Kept at least 2 in. I mean,
They're okay. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
yeah.
not bad. I just felt
it's
like
just probably about just getting a critical mass and being able to just kill everything.
Yeah.
Push his card with Temple of Silence. He's going to go for another Underworld Connections here.
And he's He's going to put it on a temple.
Di-
Yeah, good
Diversifying
mechanics.
his-
Putting it on a
Yeah,
different
I
land
mean,
indicates a pithing needle.
Yeah, but he's seen his sideboard, so he knows if he
Still
has
good mechanics.
access. Agree.
There's no reason not to stay in the habit of putting them on different lands so you
Right.
don't get blown out by pithing needle.
There's a dark betrayal for Matt Sperling here. He's going to attack for 4 and then take down the Night Veil Spectre here.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's a good draw. I don't know if Rashad would call this a 3-for-1, but it's at least a 1-for-1.
At least, huh?
I'm calling it at least. And here's a draw step or a activation of Underworld Connections there for John Stern. And here's the big turn where he gets to draw 3 cards this turn, and potentially set Matt Sperling back so far that he's just gonna never be able to come back.
But race is in play. Like Stern's down to 8.
True.
He's looking at 2 Mutavaults. Like until there's a Gray Merchant to pad his life total, or until those Mutavaults die.
Yeah.
True.
This is
Suddenly a Desecration Demon or
I mean, Sperling has a line to play
anything,
for.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he actually drew a Desecration Demon here. No, maybe not. Goes down to 7. And that's a Mutavault. That's a nice pickup. I'm sure at this point John Stern's eager to trade off. And he's going to cast Desecration Demon here. So this does get interesting though, because if
Dead Heroes downfall.
either
Kill the
that-
demon, whack you for 4. I think he's got land heroes
He
downfall.
needs a land to do that, which he has. It was either that or a Gray Merchant. Either are interesting. One significantly more. Can Matt Sperling steal a game here? John Stern's
This would be a theft.
firmly in the driver's seat the whole way. But as we've seen from the black deck, it does get low on life thanks to all those thought seizes and Underworld
There's the
connections.
land? Oh, it's Gray Merchant.
is.
He'll drop
And
John
unfortunately,
5.
he can get in for 2. No, he's going to
No,
wait.
there's a demon playing defense.
Well, he can
He doesn't want to sack a
his-
creature for
his
just
merchant.
2. Do that next turn when he can attack for 6.
Exactly. Or 4 at least.
I have no cards.
He lets Stern attack him here, right?
Oh yeah. Stern won't attack.
Stern's in an interesting position here.
He has slowed down.
Yeah,
It's-
Sperling's out of cards.
He's
and
got to be
Stern-
he's got to be scared
a little.
of those Underworld Connections.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the next time he draws a land from, like this puts him at 4, which means a Gray Merchant on the top could be lethal.
Right.
Like unless he has a Gray Merchant of his own queued up for this turn,
Which would
maybe
be
he has a
insane.
removal spell for the Gray Merchant.
I mean, if he Gray Merchants him on his own turn, it's
Yeah, this Gray
8.
Merchant's awesome.
It would be for 8.
Stern needs to play a Gray Merchant.
I mean,
That would
Stern's okay
basically
anyway.
ice the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be surprised if he loses next turn, but they're.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that Mutavault for blocks too.
But I mean, Matt has a card on top of his library
Sure,
that John
sure.
can't control.
So Sperling did not sack anything, and
Yeah.
John's actually still deciding if he wants to
Really?
attack. And
No,
he's not
he's-
going to, it looks like.
No.
Looks like it might be a rat here.
Also, if the Devour Fleshes are around, that could change things. It's a rat.
It's a
Correct,
rat.
BDM. He has enough mana left over to
That
make one
makes
as
it
well.
a lot harder for Matt to get through with creature damage.
It does indeed.
Matt
so let's
wants
see
to
what's
draw
on
a
the
Gray
top.
Merchant. That is what Matt wants to draw.
Couldn't see what it was. Is it a pack rat? What is that? Dark Betrayal?
A Subway sandwich? It could be anything.
I still can't see it. Oh, man. It's a pack rat.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And Sperling passes the
Yeah.
turn back.
I mean, he could try to force an attack in there, but it's rough.
And
Yeah, Stern could have made his pack rat big enough to block anything.
Right, he's going to draw a card with connections and then make a rat, presumably.
Yep.
Pack rat. Untap. He's at 3 life here. Can he find a gray merchant? That would put him out of range of almost any conceivable loss. He seems to have. All right, so if he's going to 2, he's probably going to 1. See what he finds here. That's a gray merchant, wasn't it?
That is almost certainly a gray
That's
merchant.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if it is the gray merchant. A 10-point life swing. Now, if it is a merchant, he wants to Desecration Demon first and maybe see what's going on, or play a land. Attack phase, trigger.
Yeah, no reason to let his opponent know there's a gray merchant coming.
Sure.
Sperling's thinking about this one.
And he said, sure. So,
Okay.
yeah, he's letting it go. He did think about it, though. I mean, the question is there a way for John Stern to pile in enough damage to just kill Matt this turn if that, with that gray merchant? But it doesn't look like there quite is, right? It's for 10.
So he attacked this time.
He did attack.
Makes sense.
And it's 10 to bring him down to 2. So just a huge blow here.
2 to 12 turns into 12 to 2.
And there we go. Matt Sperling extends the hand, and John Stern is going to advance, scrapes into the top 8.
Yeah, Sperling cruises into the top 8, top
He did.
seed.
13 and 0.
Yeah, gets to be on the play.
Uh-huh.
And John Stern just all the dominoes tumble.
Yeah.
Like the last one just scrapes the surface of the last domino, and it teeters, and then it falls over and he gets in. And now he's through to the semifinals and qualified.
Requalified.
Stern was already
Oh
qualified.
yeah, he was already qualified.
Double
He was qualified.
gold,
Yeah.
yep.
But Matt Sperling does not qualify.
This
Which
is no Pro Tour for you.
yeah, very disappointing for him.
All right, so John Stern, 25th ranked player in our top 25 pro rankings.
It looks like we have a
advances
result
to
on the other side of the bracket as well.
Peter Sundholm with Blue Devotion over Mike Vazovsky
Uh-huh.
playing Blue
And
Eyes.
so that's the first of our 3 matches that are all the same matchup. Basically mono blue Devotion versus blue white
and
control.
Blue Devotion is up 1-0 in both of those other matchups.
No, you're reading it wrong. Gillespie leads 1-0. He's the control player.
sorry.
And Hain leads 1-0, also the
so
control
it's the
player.
other way around. Yeah.
Well, Blue Devotion's through, but control is up, and they got 2 matches that haven't gone. Shocking that the control matchups, the ones
Yeah.
where the control matchup is winning, are the ones that go longer.
All right, back on the other side. And we have a much more developed board
Yeah, before
here.
we even figure out what's going on, that many permanents on the blue-white side,
Yeah.
oh, and they're turning sideways.
I'm going to say
I gotta
that's
think,
game.
yeah, Alexander Hain is going to be in the semis. We may have the battle for Canadian supremacies in the semis.
Ooh.
Stern versus Hain.
All right, well, that wasn't the actual game because we saw Elspeth make some more tokens, but does seem to be
the
in good
virtual
position. You never quite know, though, right? I mean, there is a Thassa, although it doesn't look like he has enough going. Oh,
There was a
geez.
Thassa.
There was a Thassa.
No unblockable monsters for you.
I see a pair
No
of
scry
Cyclonic
for you.
Rifts for Eugene
No
Huang,
monsters.
so he's going to get back his Thassa with the Cyclonic Rift.
So let him scry, and he can, in theory, turn it on, but it looks like Hain's at 11.
Not going to get enough mana to cast that second Cyclonic Rift. Even Nykthos won't do that.
He needs a couple Drowning Tree Emissaries here and a Nykthos.
Drowning
I
Tree
like
Emissary?
Drowning Tree
Yeah.
Emissary.
Makes blue or white mana.
I'd play that.
Is it 2-2?
It's a
Yeah.
1-3.
That's a one.
It's a 1-3. It's totally a 1-3. Sign me up.
All right, he has kept that card.
Maybe.
He
No.
has not kept that card. And he draws an island.
It's like, yeah, there's
That's
the
gonna
handshake.
do it. So 2 Canadians into the semifinals
Yep.
here.
Hain versus Stern.
And are they
That'll
going to
be
be
fun.
playing against each other on
Yes.
the bracket?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. So I'm sure all of our Canadian watchers are going to be glued to their screens for that one.
Team face-to-face games. going face to
Yeah,
face.
teammates,
That's right. Yeah.
Face to face.
Face to
Nice.
face,
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah.
All
right,
I
so-
got a dozen of them.
I'm sure. We just need to never let you in the booth with LSV.
Oh yeah.
We've
should see
made
when
Rich made Rich
and
cringe.
lose. Yeah.
And
You have. I was watching.
All right, so Hayne is through, means we've got one match left. It was on a back table, which we didn't have a camera pointed at yet. We will certainly see if we can get you coverage of the match between Adam Ruprecht and Robert Gillespie.
So Hayne wins 2-0. And we're going to have blue-white control against black devotion,
Ooh.
which is going to be interesting.
Three different archetypes in the semis so far, so
Yeah,
all three of the archetypes that were in the top 8 will be represented in the semis.
I like that.
I feel like Blue Eye Control is favored over Black Devotion from when I've watched it this weekend for the most part.
So
It's close.
I
But it
saw,
is-
so
well, all the matchups on the top
Right.
deck seem very close.
Yeah.
So I talked to Huey right after